Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where you live around the world. Back at it again on the MITRE station project, and I had been out in the workshop making another video in that particular series, and I made a comment, well, put it this way, when I made the comment out loud of a thought that I'd had, I realised that, oops, that's not going to work. And instantly when I made the comment that wouldn't work, I thought, oh, hang on a minute. And this is it here. The idea is that I have a platform that can be adjusted up and down. The representation of the Midas saw here is fixed to it. So when I adjust the platform, of course, my saw will go up and down. That's the express purpose of this platform. But I want the platform to be constrained left to right by the upstand itself, the raised areas, so that the base is a quite firm fit against each side. So that gives me that stability for the base left and right. But I said to myself, hang on, don't I want to have the saw adjustable left and right? And the answer is, well, ideally yes, but not that necessary. But I've made it adjustable in that if I have a block fixed to this base, I can put a nut in there, thread it into the block, and then I can wind it backwards and forwards until I get that firm, snug fit for the base. So therefore it can no longer move left or right. But when I want, I can fine-tune it and wind the nut back a little bit, move the saw base over using the other nut, and then I'm back to square one, but with that refinement in placement of the saw itself. Now that's so that I can register the saw and the left and right side of the saw blade against the top, and possible use of a rule or tape measure or a measuring system built into this part. All I need to do is to make this part accurate at the get-go. However, life being life, sometimes you will want to fine-tune it. So I'm trying to build that facility into this system right now. But if I use the fix-down method like this for the attachment of the saw to this sub-base, this platform, I've got no left and right movement. I have taken care of the front and back movement by having these pads of, in my case, steel, put at the front and back of the saw in the 4 points necessary. So that certainly takes care of any backward or forward movement. If there's an ever so slight amount of error in the placement of these, you can always pack it with a wee bit of tape on the pad itself. But at the end of the day, I wanted to have the left, right, backwards and forwards, up and down, the XYZ movement of this base available at the drop of a hat. And as I said, this one restricted the up and down. So I no longer have this in this position, the threaded rod and knob holding the base, the saw down to this base, the platform, but rather I can simply put the knob back a little bit, goes through, so it'll be a clearance hole here, and thread it into the actual pad itself. And another pad extends over, pressures the foot, if you want to call it, of the saw base itself. Therefore, I've got this knob here to do the vertical axes, the the Z axis. I've got the X axis here and the Y axis as well. So vice versa, doesn't matter. I think this is the easiest way of doing things. So that, well, I'll back that one up. I think this is easier than this, in that by making this, I'm swapping all over the place, sorry for that, but by making this pad up with a couple of holes either side, screwing that down to the platform, and then having a threaded hole here for my knob to hold down the base, in this situation, I've achieved my end result that I wanted. Yay! Means also that just by spinning the knob off, I can take my saw out, use it outside where I want, on another job even, and then bring it back into the shop. All locating points are in metal, and the saw will drop back down into an exact place and register in the exact place as my measuring system if and when I put that in. Good idea? Well, I think so. So, yes, out to the workshop, made a big comment about what I'm going to do, realised it didn't work, straight away thought, oh, hang on, this was the solution, I can have at it. I've seen different ways of holding lots of tools down that uses exactly the same approach. A bit like sometimes when you're mounting a router or a saw in a base, an auxiliary base, that's the system you use. So this is just a hefty version of it, built in-house, very simple, and yeah, a solution to a potential problem that now won't even occur because I've taken care of it before I actually have had to build the system, the MITRE station itself. Yippee! So yeah, that was this the reason for this video. Quite a short one. Nice little embellishment there. Not as neat, you could say, in some ways. You know, a couple of bits of heavy steel there, but it works. It works. Maybe just need to angle or bevel the pieces to make it look prettier, and then we should be happy. Rightio, that's it. I will go outside and probably cut some more panels down. Actually, I've just started cutting the panels down, and I've made up a little what I've been calling a trammel, but a method for having a static measurement to position my track saw accurately and repeatably for the different panels. So that was a nice little addition, something I thought about some time ago, made it this morning, and probably will make several more for this particular project and others, and it's going to be flexible. So I'll make a video on this. In fact, I have made a video, I think, talking about this sort of things, but I'll make another one. You can be rest assured of that. Rightio, that's it. Onwards and upwards. I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye now.